Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on a 2009 GTI and we're going to be doing a rear main seal. Obviously our little friends in town. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started.
09 GTI, Gen 2 CCTA engine. We got a leaky rear main seal caused by a failed oil separator. Large coolant fan shorted out and a torn CV boot.
13, 10s,
3/8 steering rack power wire. That's the steering rack's coming out.
The steering rack's coming out.
Subframe in the rack is coming out.
What are you popping, just wires?
Clips for the shift cable.
Clips for the shift cable. That guy right there.
The mechatronics connector.
Take a little peek at that.
13.
16.
Bell housing bolt.
16.
18. Bell housing bolt inside the starter hole. 18.
Bell housing.
18.
Just pulling that 18 out, the rest.
You can leave that right in there.
We just pulled off these two hose clamps right here. What is that called again?
Transmission oil cooler.
So you're just crimping both sides.
Yep.
And then working your way around with a pick. A little trick just to help it stop leaking. What size extension is that?
It's a 3/8 to a half.
What are you pulling?
Steering shaft bolt.
Bolt, what size?
13.
13. That's what we're pulling. And there's the bolt. Alrighty guys, you don't have to remove this axle bolt. We're just doing it because we have to replace the CV boot on the axle, so we're going to end up taking the axle completely out. Just a heads up, do not remove this axle bolt because you don't need to. Here's the leaky rear main seal. Now we're taking out the subframe. Unplug the auto level harness.
The headlight level harness.
The headlight level harness. If I could find it. Where the hell are you? Right there. What's in there? Just corrosion or?
Yeah, corrosion. You want to clean the corrosion out of the hole. Just in a pair of these subframe pins.
If you own this car, invest in those?
Yep. T100 96 Volkswagen Special Tool. Like 15 bucks.
And the perfect.
They'll save you from having to do an alignment.
You got to pull the two 13s here. Three 16s. Two more 16s on the dog bone. Three more 16s over here. 18 on the sway bar length in the tie rods. 18 over here. Same thing on the other side. 18. And one more 18 up there. Here's the popper. Oh wow, it just comes down that easy?
Yeah.
triple square 10s for the axle. Pulling some T25s to get the fender well. It gives you better access to the transmission.
And gets a better angle on the axle bolts.
Alrighty guys, like I said before, you don't have to remove the axle. This would be the part where you were just turning in towards the right, towards the rear of the car. Just a heads up. Alrighty guys, just another side note, you do not need to remove the fan to do the rear main seal in this car. Just a heads up, we're only removing it because we have to fix something on it. Fan harness?
Yep. Get the fan out of the way.
What was it, T30 for the fan shroud?
Yep.
Two 10s. What's the bracket to?
It's the harness bracket.
Harness bracket?
Yep. Push that up out of the way.
You put triple square in? Triple square 14 for the bell housing?
Yeah.
You couldn't get your 16 on?
My 18 on
Your
this
18? There she goes. 6mm Allen for the, what do you call it?
drive flange.
The drive flange. That's what it looks like. And what's this going to hold up? The other side of the engine?
It's going to hold the engine.
Oh, because right now it's pinched between each
No,
other?
it's not pinched. It's held two up top and then the dog bone like pendulum mounted.
Oh, I see. And what are the two bolts up top? You're pulling 3/18s on the bell housing?
Yep.
So the last 16?
That's the last bell housing bolt right there. Now you want to take out the cable.
Now, what went bad?
The seal is fucking delaminated.
Oh, I see.
You see?
I see. Ripping off the old silicone?
Yeah, VW supplied. I wouldn't recommend using an aftermarket sealant on it.
Definitely VW.
For the price of the VW, I just put the VW. For as much work it's going to take to get here.
You recommend anything else in here while you're, say it again, new pilot bearing?
Yeah.
If needed?
If you wanted to. You should probably do a new pilot bearing.
Give her a good wipe down.
Critical special tool T10122-6A, T10122/1. The seal has two lips, an inside and an outside. D174003M2, black. Alright, put her on the face, line it up with the holes, slide her in.
That's nice.
See the lip? Very lightly. 8 Newton meters.
8 newtons?
8 newtons. Pattern. Pop your shield back on. And if you lost your mark cleaning it, you can always line it up using the old flywheel, wipe off the back. find this marking here,
Yep.
line it up with that marking there. You see
Line.
the word in there, the CBG,
Okay.
right here?
CBG.
You can also see faintly this right here. Line up with that right there.
These are triple square 12 with a flywheel. Say it again, keep it tight to the flywheel going up.
Yeah. Get the cable in as soon as you can. It's up.
Oh, the
Shift cable.
gotcha. What's the name of the cable?
Shift cable.
Shift cable. What are you doing?
Just moving the crank a little bit.
Moving the crank so it slides on.
Yeah.
Don't tighten any bolts until it's fully seated. Another 18 right there. You're trying to set up for the top. So he's putting the 3/18s in on top of the transmission mount. And then you're free to lower it down. Output
Axle
flange.
flange.
Installing the axle. Triple square 10. Two 16 mils for the heat shield. Installing this bracket. It's just a harness bracket. Installing your charge pipe. Quick connect and a 7 mil. Installing the driver's side axle. Some triple square 10.
Alright,
Clean up all the old grease. Slide the axle in. Bringing the steering rack back over. What are you connecting? The steering rack harness?
Putting the harness up there.
Tucking it up.
We're going to line these right up with these pins we put in.
Lining those holes with those pins. What are you jacking up?
Give it a little help.
Everything lined up nicely.
These ones go on the inside.
Two 18s, both sides.
4 18.
Four 18s. Don't forget to plug in the level sensor right there.
Sway bar length.
Sway bar length for the 18s.
Those are 18s up there, yeah.
18 here and 18 there. 16 on these little guys. 3/16s. Definitely be careful with these because you can snap them very easily. 2/13s. Just pulled the other pin out of there. Installing the quarter wheel well. Just spraying everything off with some brake cleaner. Putting the wheels back on. Installing the cover, T25s. Do we plug it in the harness?
Shift cable.
Just plug it in the shift cable. Alright. Some bell housing bolts. Installing these 218 bell housing bolts. Installing the starter, 2 more 16s. What kind of extension was that?
Wobble plus.
Starter's 13.
18. Mechatronics connector.
Mechatronics connector.
Yeah, cut.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we connecting?
Power steering rack power.
10 minutes and it's going to...
What lines are we putting on?
Tranny cooler lines.
Tranny cooler lines.
So work at Burger King. Yeah, shout out to Sean at Cornwell.
2 clamps. Hose clamps right there. Installing the battery sled.
3 tens.
Not gonna
Installing the
lie,
battery. 2 more 10s for the connectors.
Of course.
Hey, film it.
This is
13 mil.
you want
The upper fan shroud.
like, but no one asked me. I don't get that part.
T30 on the other side of the fan shroud.
Hard yesterday to
Yeah.
hold hands and get something.
Pulling the coils. Why?
Oil separator.
Oil separator.
What's and the brake for the e-brake?
What's that part called again?
Steering shaft.
Steering shaft. What size?
13.
What is it?
13.
13? Alrighty, there's a 13 up there, guys. If you can see it, that's the best I can do. Alrighty, guys, that's it. That's the job. It went relatively easy, pretty quick on this car. Other than that, see you next time.